Someone lost their key and stuff there too, huh? It's snowing and it's raining at the same time. That's a little too bad. Although they did say again, it's supposed to get to like what, -15 next week? Hey, what did I read today? It was actually kind of an interesting contrasting story of the same type of topic. But I guess you have to be a little delicate in terms of how you approach it, so to speak, because it could backfire. This one here says, no longer a novelty. Governor addresses drones after pilot describes near miss with flight for life helicopter. The medical helicopter was on the way to Fort Morgan, an area where mystery drones have been spotted in recent weeks. A Flight for Life medical helicopter pilot said they passed within 100 feet of a drone Tuesday while they were out on a routine medical call near Fort Morgan. People across northeast Colorado have reported seeing a drone flying in the air over the past several weeks. No one knows who they belong to or what they're doing. The FAA and other government agencies are now investigating. It's kind of interesting when you hear about the theories too, like here are the points where it could be, like whatever these drones are they say, it could be something malicious is happening, something benign is happening and the government can't figure it out, the government knows what's happening and is lying to the public. That part is actually true. If it is like some kind of secret operation and all that, why would you want to admit it? Like if it's from the government and all that? To me anyways, it's still so weird. If somebody really wants to find out what it is, I still don't understand why someone can't just put like, I don't know, thermal cameras or whatever, fly your own helicopters with zoom in cameras, etc, etc. I don't see why it's so difficult in that sense when it's been this consistent according to them. So ultimately the story is about a rogue drone operator, if it was one anyways, because the guy says himself it happened so fast he couldn't really tell what kind of drone it is and all that. At the same time, in context to that story about seeing all the other drones around the area, it's one of those things where a helicopter pilot wants to know what's in the air, I guess, in terms of their peace of mind, because they're always on the lookout. So with all these stories combined, you can imagine just for the average individual, there's gonna be some huge hysteria, right? Like everything they see is a drone, they're gonna try reporting it, they think they're in danger. That's why this story was interesting. This one says, is it a drone? No, just a helicopter. Yet another video surfaced this week of a drone sighting, only this one was different. It was seen over Kearney Wednesday night near the CHI Health Good Samaritan Hospital. Many Facebook users were commenting on the post, and one even suggested shooting down the drones which have become a common nuisance over the last week. The folks at CHI's Air Care saw the post and realized that it was not a drone but their own helicopter. The comments were enough for them to make a post with guidelines for drone flying from the Federal Aviation Administration, as well as reminding the followers things aren't always as they seem. So can you imagine that? The hysteria, I guess, is so big with that. People are actually confusing full-size helicopters for like drones, and they're basically like, hey, I'm gonna shoot it down and all that. It says, Luke Balmer, the clinical manager of Air Care and Communication Center, said this mentality can pose a danger for both the pilot and nurses on board, as well as the patients. Being shot at is not a common occurrence, but when those words are used on social media, we treat those very seriously. We want the public to be aware that we're out there operating frequently and not to confuse us with a drone. While there have been many, quote, sightings of drones over the past week, local authorities do not find any reports to be threatening. This is crazy, isn't it? I mean, okay, it's dark and all that and all you can see is lights, but how loud is like a regular sized helicopter? How couldn't you tell the difference in that case? As well, in relation to the first story, I guess that's the example of how you can't really just jump out and say, oh, these things are like all dangerous and all that. Basically, you should just punish or condemn people who use it like in a dangerous way, as opposed to just the whole thing in general. Otherwise, it's like this. People just go way overboard in terms of hysteria and all that, and it'll basically bleed into the other types of aviation, so to speak. Although in some ways with the wording of the article, I don't think they meant it, but it's almost like, hey, we're not a drone, so don't shoot at us. Like, if it was a drone, then be my guest, so to speak. Like, again, I think it just has to come down to just normalize this stuff. Treat incidents as that on a case-by-case basis, in my opinion. stump the tail is. I guess that's one way to cover from the rain. This thing's getting killed by the cold and wind, it seems like. Glad it stopped raining. If you want the higher shots, you still need the Pro. Alright, see you guys later.